This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Iberians Southlands. This map you can find over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub, and this is a 4X map, so this map is going to be available for PC only. Go ahead and jump on in, pick some of these mods, use in our tours. Go ahead and pull up the log. This map does have one additional crop, so I am wanting to load up straw harvest. I have not tried straw harvest and seasons, see if that would work. So really should have checked that, but I just didn't think about it. And this map does indeed have a seasons mask. Here we are, loaded up in our career start point. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map here. On out. And this is a rather interesting map. According to the description, this map has been around for now 4 generations of Farm Sim. Farm Sim 13, 15, 17, and 19. And I have to say, in my opinion, it's showing its age quite well. We're going to see lots of buildings around here that are fairly low texture, fairly obvious that they have been around for quite a long time. Some of these icons on the map are indicative of what I believe was a previous iteration that had production on it. For example, down here we have a gravel station and a sand station. Clear indication that down here at the beer factory that this at one point in time probably was production, as well as probably some of these other areas. So it appears as if the production aspect has been removed from the map, given the fact that some of these things remain. So if there's going to be an update at some point where the plan is to add production back in, let's take a look here. So if we go to our lands area, you're going to see we start out with the main farmland up here, or the farm yard up here, and a little field 42 and 43. And that's all we have. Now, if we buy basically everything that we can't, everything that is not viable land, we buy everything that is not actually a field, say, it's $484 buy all that land. Kind of interesting. But there are random areas on the map where you can place things. And I think these were meant for some type of production in a previous iteration of the map. We have a biogas plant for $361,000. Take a look at some of these fields. Area 1 is $2.8 million. 2 is $2.5 million. 33 is $1 million. And little things like field 44 are $38,000, $34,000, and $35,000 respectively. 44, 48, and 2. We have several sell points here on the map that will take most of our crops. Of course, we have a few smattering of sell points that will accept a handful. You have custom crop icons on here. I think the icons look quite nice. And we do have this icon here, which I am not sure of. I really don't know what that is. But it's sold at the vegetable warehouse. I just don't know what that is. Here are hops. We have hops as the extra crop on the map. Then, of course, we have our hay pellets and our straw pellets as a result of activating the straw harvest. We start with a fairly small list of equipment, given the fact that this is a 4X map. But given also the fact that we only have 2 small fields at the start, probably fairly generous. Equipment does have a fair bit of operating hours on it. well maintained, and none of it is leased. You have contracts available on the map. Go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. We start out with the JCB Quadtrac 8330 and the John Deere 8245R. Tractors range in horsepower from 290 to 348 horsepower. Have a modded Quadtrac Phoenix truck as part of our starting equipment. This is included with the map. You don't have to download that extra. RSM 161 harvester with Draper 900 grain header, KS 950 semi-trailer tipper. Have the combi plow. This is the subsoiler, 4-meter subsoiler. The Solitar 12 seater. We have the step deck lowboy trailer for the semi. Weight, and then we have some custom animal areas. Large pig enclosure, hold 600 pigs. Horse paddock that will hold 32 horses. Sheep pasture for 500 sheep. Cow area for 400 cows. A large chicken coop will hold 400 chickens. Custom bunker silos, and then we have several grain silos scattered around the map of different types and different shapes. Several buildings we can sell. And then we have our farmhouse. Go to your trucks, see the custom Man and Tatra Phoenix truck. Trailers and see if there's anything custom there. Custom there. Now we do have here fill types that look like gravel and sand, but they're not really referenced anywhere else. So if this map needs global company, the description on the website does not say it needs global company. So I just don't know. Do we have the custom pins that we can buy later? Interesting enough, we can sell them for $0, but we have a lot of money if we want to buy them. To load this map on Farm Manager or start from scratch, we'll start with no buildings in the ground. So you'll have to place your buildings. Stuff here. Straw Pellet Master. Yep. Have the Hay Pellet Master. Now, these are part of map. Compost Master. Seed Master. Kirby Master. Fert Master. Again, there was no reference as to if this stuff required global company. Go down here and check this out. So it does not. Looks like it's got built-in production scripts. Looks like the production scripts from GTX is fermenting silo and pig food mixer. So slurry or digestate, manure, and compost. So that icon there must be, this icon here must be compost. Must be compost. And then we get fertilizer out of this. We've got some production buildings. Let's go ahead and add in some money. And see if we can't put down here. We have that down. Diesel or biogas. Calf, grass, and hay, and we make hay pellets out of this. You have the straw harvest add-on activated, you can make hay pellets out of this placeable. We also have one for straw pellets and Compost Master. File that land. I can put this down here on a area. What? So I don't have place anywhere activated. So that is pretty disappointing. Can't put that there. Put it here. What up here? That is a little disappointing. Let's sell that and if we can't put it there, then we're going to move on. That is really, really disappointing. All right, so let's go ahead and take a little look at the farm area here where we start out at. Again, like I said, in Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, this whole area is void of buildings, void of silos. Up here to our sleep trigger. There. Come down the hill, and we've got this farmyard that is multi-terraced. Got this massive farm silo. We have several other silos also scattered around the farmyard here. Several buildings. And there we have our starting equipment. Find our starting equipment here. We have our chicken area, maintenance shop, food trough, our chicken purchase area, and then our egg spawn point. We also have several animal areas that are pre-placed on the map in New Farmer. They are not pre-placed in Farm Manager mode, but you'll have to buy those in Farm Manager mode. But they're down there on land that we don't own. Don't know is if we can basically buy animals and use the animals when we don't own the land. So sell this land back. Oh, I can't sell it now because we have placeables on it. Can't test that. So what I'm going to do is get set up for a fly around. I'll fly around the map a little bit. It is a 4X map, so that is going to take a little bit of time. We also have a rideable train. No. Not have a rideable train. Description says train grain and train wood. It implies that we have a rideable train. Have tab to train off. I don't think I would have that off. Switch to trains is on. Yeah, that is interesting. See that we can ride a train. Description does say train green and train wood. So something else related to the map, as far as just general impressions, is this map looks older, just in its general sparseness of tree planting and other foliage. Really looks like other maps that have come forward from 13 and 15. Just talking about this the other day, that in my opinion, I think there's some maps that just shouldn't be perpetually brought forward. Not that they're bad maps, but just that they become bad maps after so many conversions and bringing forward, without actually then also bringing forward different buildings, updating the textures, updating the foliage, everything. Here's one of these buildings. Feels like it's been around for quite a long time. Has no depth to it. And this is the area where it basically says this is the gravel. Gravel out of silo spout, or what? Is a silo spout, is a silo trigger there. Also a lime point over here. Have some more silos scattered around the map. Down here, remember, this is a 4X map, so a lot of these fields are deceptively bigger. Have a bit of a forested area. Not a lot of forest. A lot of sparse trees just randomly, seemingly randomly planted around. Over here we have a sand area. Definitely have a very hilly map. Lots of undulating terrain. One of the reasons you can tell that this is a 4X map is just looking at the coordinates down in the mini-map. Currently at 3580 and by 2200. We were in a standard size map. This coordinates would not get any greater than 2000. Right around 2000. Here we are at the edge. Silos over there. Coming across here to the freight yard sell point, and all the way off to the north are going to be some additional barn silos or farm silos. Spawning in there now. And what is this? Like, I think it's supposed to be from over there. Sugar plant. Rogue trigger markers and sugar beets. So these are supposed to be on a belt somewhere. Okay. Have here our sugar sell point. Sugar beets. Oh yeah. The trigger and the beets that are magically just floating are supposed to be associated with this, as well as smoke clouds. way over there. Plastic core, and see, this is kind of set up to be what you would feel would be some level of production. All these drop-off points and everything. More farms, some more farm silos and buildings. Rips there in the field. We're going to come down here and check out these two small fields that we own at the start and just see how small they really are. Big field of sugarcane. They are pretty small, even for a 4x map size. 2 acres and 2.8. Those are the only two fields that we start with at the beginning of the map. Head on over here to the shop. Copper horse. Like they're animal statues. Shop. So we've got operating hours. One in here. Like a fairly older building that's come through some converts. Stonework in here doesn't look too good. Customize and repair trigger. Not really seeing the shop trigger at all, so let's just go ahead and get our Mahindra. Do have a custom shop camera. Nice. We really don't see that very often. Cool. There's the spawn point inside shop. Let's go buy something big. Okay. Low res road textures. Like I said, the map really shows its age. And in my opinion, that's not a good thing. If you loved this map with an absolute passion, played it in 13, 15, 17, maybe you're hoping to find it back in 19. But comparing this to a 19 map, or even a 17 map that's come over, it's rough. Seriously rough. Hovap. They're going to be buying milk, eggs, sugarcane, fruit crops, soybeans, and barley. Have what I feel are leftovers from a production version of this map. We'll have like cheese and I don't know what that would be. Homogenized milk or something. factory compost. Oh, maybe they're already placed up here for us. Like they might be. And we can buy them in the shop because maybe if we start on Farm Manager, start from scratch, they're not here. We have our Hay Pellet Master, and no doubt our Straw Pellet Master. And it looks like we have our Compost Master up the hill here. Old and cheap. Return of the Great Compost Master. Where's the information on what this does? Well, I know what it does. It makes compost, but what do you put in it? Used to put in compostable material, the plant biomass, and potentially you might need to put fuel in. Well, it looks like there's a readout there for fuel. Would be nice to get that pop-up. Head on down here to the BGA. Ah! There. We have our silver pig. Vegetable warehouse in the what that's Panic Center. Okay. There's two different sell points here. Manure and liquid manure. Going to be our sell point for our vegetable center. Compost. They're going to accept here. And I'm not going to harp all video on about these buildings, but yeah. Buildings stacked on top of each other. Taller. Again, this is like a Farm 13 building. Maybe a 15 building. You have what appears to be multiple animal buy points because there is a pig icon down there by field 66. Whoa, that just popped in there. Golden cow. Then we also have here food station and animal dealer. One of the animal triggers. If you come up here with the animal trailer, you may find that it only will sell you certain animals. Go up without the animal trailer, basically it'll act as if it can sell you all the animals. It is possible to reconfigure that such that it would only offer you one animal if you came in trailer. We're not going to go around to every single spot this particular map video. We want to run down here and take a look at these other animal areas. And then head south and just check out a few things south of the river there. Lots of traction coming down that hill. Hit the BGA. One, two, three, 5 PGA bunkers. Gestate pipe there, and then we have our digester. Building over here, I'm sure was set up to do something at some point, older iteration. At this point in time, it just looks to be static decorative. So under what is kind of the map's interstate or highway system. Kind of an interesting thing to add to the map. Oh. Down here to our first animal area, the pig area. We have a bit of a bridge over to the horse area. We have our water trough. Again, we activate the animal pen extension. You can see if the water trough has built-in port for it or not, or the animal pen. The fact that they're stacked there means it does not, but of course you can make use of it yourself. Placing them and moving them around. We have our straw trigger, food trough, and then we have the delivery trigger. Got fairly standard requirements for the horses. Manure, flurry. Straw trigger coming up. Our water trough, food trough, and our pig drop off. And fairly standard requirements for the pigs. Nothing changed or added. Here we have the big cow area. We also have a big placeable area. This is where I tried to put that Compost Master over here, and it wouldn't take. even though we owned the land. It's a little concerning. We have our sheep pen. In the sheep pen, we have our food trough, full spawn trigger, and the water trough. And the sheep are fairly standard. We have a custom cow pen. We have our milk trigger, food trough, straw, water, slurry, and manure back there. Deliver our cows inside the gate here. Okay, we have our standard food cows also. Here we have some of those large silage silos. Kind of plateau placeable area. Sometimes it's just covered in grass versus being covered in dirt. Finds its way down or up. I want to make my way up so we can go across the interstate and just see that. Maybe we'll get on it and give it a drive. Car. Switchbacks. Then we have on ramps, off ramps. Round. Factory. That's my on-ramp. Peek around here. And head out on the highway. So guys, that is Iberians South Island. Probably butchered that completely and utterly. Again, you can find it over at farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub. It is a 4X map. Does mean that it is for PC only. Guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think of the map? Is this a map you played back in 13, 15, or 17? And until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.